Hey y'all, we are definitely outside. Things happen on days, that we cannot control. But we are here today and we have some special guests in the building. And we just want to go ahead and get started. Who do we have here?
Well, my name is Jada Blake, and what else do you want me to?
And Jada, what was your week like? How was it? You got anything planned for this weekend?
My week was, man, it went fast. It went fast. Actually, I don't know. All of these weeks been going fast. I just waking up and doing what I gotta do.
I hear that.
I don't have any extra plans, anything special, no.
So who do we have across the table?
You just gonna put me on the spotlight.
I mean, come on, pull up.
You have Ebony.
Pull your mic up, Eva.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. This is Ebony, first time on the show. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
My week, it's been a rough week. Rest in peace to my cousin Michi.
Yes,
You'll
definitely.
always
My
be
condolences.
It's just taking it day by day.
I hear that. Any plans for today?
Girl, you already know it's all. Call me, I'm pulling up.
Listen, we was up late last night till about 5 o'clock this morning. So my energy level is at an all-time low. I am hoping that we could get this started on the right foot. All right. So anybody got any special plans today? I do want to say shout out to my son. His birthday was just on the 26th. He turned 13. So
Happy birthday,
Happy
chocolate
birthday.
drop.
He wanted to be exclusive and rent out the movie theater for him and his little friend. So we got that going on today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess, ladies, like, what are you thinking about the climate and everything that's going on in Milwaukee? Did you guys hear about the guy that got killed at Sherman Park?
With the police?
Yeah, he had a shootout with the police.
I saw like a little snippet, like a small summary of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really see like what really happened. What happened?
So supposedly he was in a police chase, and then he crashed somewhere near the park, near Sherman Park, and he had a gun, and I don't know who shot first. With the police, it's a really touchy situation, so you're not 100% sure, but they're claiming that he shot at them, and then they shot back, but then the family is saying that the police started shooting at him. So it's always up in the air when it comes to situations like that. So I think that's one of my fears of having a black son or boys, all together, is because of like the climate of everything that's going on. So you definitely have to pray over them and make sure you keep an eye on them and instill good things in them, because I don't want anybody to be dead, but why would you go on the police chase?
I mean, some things is just,
It's crazy.
especially if you know what's already happening. Why would you
Right.
make yourself a target type thing?
And I'm not
You're already a target,
right?
So it's
because
like,
of the color of your skin, like
Right.
that puts you already out there in the first place. So,
Yeah.
but my condolences to the family. Definitely, I know that's probably something hard, and it being in the media makes it even worse, and then people developing their own opinions makes it even worse.
yeah, it's of course.
Yeah. So, Jada, tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you have kids? Like,
I do not have any kids. I have plenty siblings though, so
Really?
it make up for. I have 9 siblings, so, and I'm the eldest, so I don't think I need kids right now. At least if it happens, it happens. But I'm not forcing anything.
So, how many siblings do you have?
I have 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And what's the youngest?
the youngest, we're 10 years apart. So I'm about to be 25.
youngest? Okay.
So he's about to be 15. No, he
Okay.
did turn 15. He's already 15. Yeah, so 15.
Wow. Okay. So, Ebony, what's going on with Kennedy in school?
So they're back in school.
How do you feel about that with COVID and all the different things going on?
Like my family, she was at home with my aunts and my grandmother. So, coming back to school and potentially spreading to them, that's what my main concern is.
Yeah.
But she's happy about being around her friends and then she needs to exercise. Like, you know, when they be having gym and stuff, like she did not do that. When I tell you, they try to do the gym stuff virtually.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's a fail.
Yeah, and then she would take the camera off of her and just be sitting there.
Of course. I mean,
well, is she wrong?
I mean, she needs to exercise.
Well, don't we all? Because listen, this journey was crazy for me, and then COVID hit, and then recently I just tore my calf muscle. So I feel like, you know, the jokes right now that I've been telling everybody is, if I wasn't trying to work out and I just was busting up with some chicks, I would have never tore my calf muscle.
Oh my gosh!
I
mean, I'm just saying, like,
how factual is that? Though?
Yeah, I know, right? So if I was sitting chilling and, you know, just watching TV, this would have never happened. But I'm not gonna look at it like that. I feel like it's a blessing in disguise, baby. You know, God is trying to protect me from something, and I'm just praying that I heal fast because I need to get down for this Vegas trip.
Suicide Hill did it.
I'm going to Vegas for my birthday. My birthday is December the 14th, and my plans was to be another 30 to 40 pounds down. Obviously, I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's possible.
It definitely is, but you know, you got to get off your feet. And if I only got one foot, then
nutrition.
That's
you
right.
know.
I'm gonna say there's other options.
It's definitely.
Honestly, can you tell me on the weekend you're gonna sit and just chill and just snack on carrots?
It's possible. Yeah. Well, you don't gotta snack on carrots, but
I mean, your motivation though is that trip.
Yeah, it
so
is.
You gotta go.
I think
you gotta go.
With DJ and Desmond being around, it makes it even harder. And DJ and Desmond are my children. It makes it 10 times harder because they want what they want, and here I go smelling it, and I'm like, yeah, let's throw these carrots away.
No, don't throw them away. Just add to it.
I'm gonna add that pizza right to that plate with them carrots.
Just a slice. Just a slice. You gotta.
Yeah, moderation.
Moderation. Yeah,
definitely.
You can still enjoy everything good.
So I posed a question on the We Outside page, and it says, why aren't relationships lasting in this generation? And it really touches me because I feel like we all want something. I think that we all crave that companionship and crave wanting to be with somebody. Yeah. But why isn't it lasting? What do you think?
Well, me personally, I don't think it's lasting for some people because, like I commented, it's like some people just weren't raised to know or had that perfect example on how to like really love or like what love really is.
Right.
And so people go off of example. So if they grew up not even physically abused but mentally, that can definitely, you know,
have an impact.
Definitely. And so I feel like this generation, and a little bit before ours, it was already, you know, going off of what they see.
Right.
And people just like to use people nowadays, and so nothing is like super sincere. You never really know.
I look at my grandparents because before, like after them, it seemed like it just started falling apart. After that generation is when, you know, the marriages weren't sacred anymore. Where for my grandparents on my mom's side, my granddad had a couple of outside kids, but they stayed together.
Exactly.
So they worked it out. Like, for me, my tolerance is very low. I already know that.
Absolutely.
Like, once I see one thing, I try to, like, look past it or talk about it and address it. But then if I see something else, it's like, okay, I'm gone. Like, I done gave you one chance. And that first chance might be something different.
One chance too many sometimes.
Yeah. So, and it just, I mean, it's harder now because the guys nowadays don't have the same standards as our grandparents.
And some women too.
That's
like,
true.
We gotta hold ourselves accountable.
Definitely.
Some women too.
Yeah.
Some women just are not like going to be wives. Like they don't like some of their standards are not there. So it's not always on the man. Sometimes it's on the woman too. But I feel like as far as our grandparents though, they put up with a lot of shit.
They did.
And
they really
a lot of
did.
Shit, I'm telling you, it's probably the same that people are going through now, but just social media, that just heightens even more.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
because you
it
can
is, too.
see more.
Definitely.
Like, you can see more now. before, like, you know, they didn't have that social media, the cell phones or whatever. Somebody pulling up or whatever.
You had to really catch them slipping.
When I
like,
leave, and if I ain't have no pager or you ain't know who house I was
exactly.
going to,
Right.
I'll see you when I get home.
Exactly.
And at times I'll be feeling like the same way.
It's
like,
technology.
Technology, yeah, that really did it.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you crave that love like that your grandparents had, but it's like, what did they really go through?
And the stories that I've been hearing, like, not my grandma passed on, but the stories that I'm hearing from my grandpa now, it's like, she dealt with that from you,
right?
Like, and then
like you put her
through that for what?
So
right? My grandmother, she quick to cuss you out. She'll cuss you out in a heartbeat. I'm like, Big Mama, are you serious? You let Fat Daddy have how many kids on you?
Right. Like, I mean, it's that one baby for me, and it's over. Okay.
Ain't got a baby.
Yeah, the one pregnancy, whatever it is.
And
so
I'm just saying, like, if I even get the little inkling or whatever, and then women intuition is a bitch. Like,
it is. It's definitely
we can
is.
see and feel stuff that ain't even there, but I mean, it's there, but we don't see it.
Exactly.
Right.
But we know it's there.
Yeah.
And it can be like little signs, and it's
Yes.
like.
And I think a lot of the times we
switch up a little
ignore the
bit.
red signs, and that the
It's
red
because
flags
we
are
want
always
something
there.
We overlook it for the good, because everybody has good in them. So
everybody
we see that
does.
good in them and ignore.
Yeah.
That
What is it
potential.
called?
It's called potential.
Oh my gosh, that
You see potential in a man that you literally that they don't see in themselves.
Yeah, a lot of the times we fall in love with that potential, and that potential sometimes
it'll definitely bite you.
It'll bite you in your ass.
Definitely.
Because you think you can change that person by remaining who you genuinely are as a person. Because you think that if you remain that way, he will eventually change into the person that you know that he can become.
Yeah, and that's not how it should go.
Not at all.
But also, so we had a couple people asking what was the definition. We're gonna head, to the topic a little bit. People were asking what was the definition of toxic, and the main topic today is why is it so hard to leave a toxic man alone? And that's kind of why we have all women today, because, so men sometimes feel like they don't want to hold themselves accountable. So we didn't want to hear from their ass today.
No, thank you.
No. So I posted a picture along with the caption, and it says signs of a toxic relationship: draining and depressing. That's definitely a sign. It's all about them. They don't want the light to be on nobody but you, but them. Excuse me. Lack of trust and communication. I think that kind of goes both ways, though. I don't know if that's so much toxic, but it's along the lines. Consistent negative energy. Like every time you walk in the room, or your friends come, or their friends come, it's the switch up. Like, it's not the same energy that we had when we were just together. All take and no give. So I'm constantly pouring into you, trying to build you up, make sure you straight. I'm checking on you, and I'm not getting that same in return. So I thought that was a good one. Mutual avoidance. So you never kind of want to meet on mutual ground. It's always, an argument. Again, it's always your side or no side. Excessive jealousy. This was big for me because when I started losing weight, I felt like my boyfriend at the time wasn't so supportive. And I think it was only because he knew that the attention was coming along with me getting in shape. So it was kind of like, oh, I didn't want you to lose weight. You looked good how you were. It was the tear down of your self-esteem. And in your mind, you're like, okay, well, my boyfriend don't want me this size, so maybe I should slow down. And that's a mental thing, too. It weighs on you. So we'll go more into detail.
That's so
about
selfish
that.
of him.
Yeah. One-sided, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Brings the worst out of you. So I'm a person, when I first get into a relationship, I want to know what makes you tick. And I don't necessarily want to know what makes you tick to push your buttons, but I kind of want to stay away from that. You don't never want to make your partner feel down. So when you find out those things, and we ain't even gonna go into them stories because Lord, the police station is right across the street. So we don't want them to pull up here. However, you just have those people that bring out the worst in you. And then the last one is continuous disrespect. So the disrespect could be if we're living together, you coming home late, or stuff you post on your page, like to give the illusion that you're not in a relationship or whatever it is. You don't necessarily have to post me, but the illusion of disrespect. You know what disrespect is. If you don't want it, then it's disrespectful. That's just the same as cheating. If you feel like you can't do it around me, technically it's cheating. If you got to kick it with your homegirl and I don't know your homegirl, you're not telling me you with her, that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah, like,
so it's like whatever you can't do around me is cheating. So those are what I mean as far as, toxic things. So we could kind of go into it. So everybody had a detailed view of where we're going with this. So, Jada, have you ever had a toxic relationship?
I'm sure we have. Man, I have. And I tell you, I feel like it more so rooted, like, because I didn't set the boundaries that I knew, but I didn't tell him. Mm-hmm. And not saying, like, it's like, blaming myself type thing, but I have to take accountability. Like, some things, men won't do what is it? How do we go? You can only do, they only do what you allow them. Yeah, so if you're allowing them to do these things, then, I mean, that's what I had to, like, really think about. Like, okay, I don't deserve this.
Right.
So,
walk away.
Yeah, it's a both way thing.
Word too,
exactly, that's the big thing.
You think, like, I don't want to give up on this person because I love them so much. But then, internally, you're tearing yourself down.
Definitely.
And you're lowering your value because they don't see the value in you, so you're lowering and just staying around.
Or they see it. They most times see it. It's just that they don't. You don't hold them accountable to meet that standard, and so they're not going to respect you, or they don't want to let you go because they do see that value in you.
Right. Ebony, what you think? Have you ever had a toxic relationship?
Oh yeah.
Any examples? So I'm gonna just say this before we start on examples. Please do not use anybody's name. Yeah. If you want to say your relationship or John Doe or whatever it is, we're not gonna use names. But any examples that you want to say, and then you can go from there. Okay.
Well, I had a abusive relationship before, and Tanisha was right there. She was right there, and it was. I mean, of course, it was toxic.
Right.
But at the time, I didn't see it because I'm like, okay, I'm fighting back. Just because you're fighting back don't make it less abusive.
Right. And it doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right.
Right.
So regardless, a man is not supposed to put his hands on a woman. Right. If you feel as though you need to put your hands on a woman, it's time for you to walk away.
Yeah, definitely.
So that toxic, to me, is like set the tone for my future relationships.
Yeah,
definitely.
So that's probably why I'm so quick to walk away, because if I see something that I don't like, I'm ghost.
But that's good.
It could be a good trait and it could be bad, because like just because I see one thing that I don't like don't mean it sets the tone for the whole relationship.
Right.
Yeah. But
it kind of scares you and knocks you down, because it's like, I don't want to go through that again. But some people don't know how to properly love. And that's a part of why things become toxic, because they've seen this in their past. And that social media, again,
oh my gosh,
you set these relationship goals, but some of that shit, you can see them post a picture, but you don't know what's going on behind that picture.
Exactly.
Or you don't know what's going on behind that closed door. So you got to be mindful when you say, oh, this is the relationship goal. That shit ain't always a goal. You go get knocked up your head. That's the damn goal sometimes.
A picture speaks 1,000 words. With the filters and stuff that's on now,
oh my God.
Yeah, there's no 1,000 words to be had.
Right.
So,
and people only post the good stuff of everything.
Exactly.
Why would you post the bad stuff?
Why would you?
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
And it's like, I think for me, my next relationship going forward, I'm definitely going to take it easy.
Slower.
Yeah, and slow,
definitely
because we rush into things because of what we want, and you have these stupid ass timelines in your head, like, oh, I want to be married by the time I'm 30. Oh, I want to do such and such by this date. I mean, you tell God your plan and he laughs. So you can't really say, okay, by 35, I'm going to be married.
That was
something else planned for.
In my mind, I had my whole future planned out.
I know I did.
I wasn't having a kid.
I'm supposed to have 2 kids right now.
Yes, I said that I was not having any kids until I was 30. Kennedy came at 25, okay? She slowed my ass all the way down.
First of all, and DJ came when I was 17.
I did.
Really?
I did.
Yeah, DJ came at 17, and then my next son came at 19. So it was like, hold on, this ain't what I said. Where's the wedding? Where's the dress? Where's the tickets?
But I did have my little thought days. Okay, I'm pretty sure we all have some thought days. Before Kennedy, like. No, we being transparent. Yes, we all had our fucking thought days. Okay.
What do you define? Like, how do you like? What do you?
I mean,
that whole outside over there.
No, what do you define as thought?
I mean, like, okay, so talking to multiple people.
That's a thought.
That was dating
at the same time.
If I'm single,
I mean, like
whoever I want to.
But I'm just saying, like, you didn't have your thottish ways until after your kids.
Until I don't know about that. I don't know what she's talking about.
All right, cool. Being transparent, right?
I am an angel.
That's bull fucking shit. Okay.
When I wake up, it say, "Oh." Every time.
I'm going to put
my feet on the
shut up, Tanisha. You was right there with me, don't you?
No. Let's be steadfast. My thottish days has long gone past.
I'm just saying, yes, when we was younger.
I didn't say that. I said I'm learning a lot now.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, it was like when I had my son, and then I turned around and had my second son, my life was dedicated to them. Mm-hmm. And I was that parent that said, my kids would never get on the bus. My kids wouldn't do this. And I stuck to that shit. And I finished school, and ever since then, they've been straight. And honestly, I'm not going to say it hasn't been hard. It definitely has been hard. And I think that also is why I'm kind of skating around dating, too, because you have to be an example for my kids.
Yeah.
I have been that woman example for them, and I know it's different when it comes to a man, but they're watching how you treat me.
Exactly.
They're watching, how you move, and eventually they're going to look up to that if you're the person, for me. So I'm very skeptical about who I bring around.
And the same for girls. Girls are so, like, kids are so impressionable, first of all.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to have a bunch of dudes around my daughter thinking that's,
it's cool.
Right. That's going to be cool. No, not at all. So, and she's 10, and she's smart as hell.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to have her picking up these little thottish ass ways.
Right.
And
then it's like, it's not a control thing. I feel like when you set a tone to say, okay, I don't want you coming in after 2.
And then it's like a generational curse. My mama, she was married, but it was very toxic. My grandparents were married. Was it toxic? I don't know, because
probably so.
It's just they didn't tell everybody their business. Probably.
Exactly.
That's what it really is. That's what
exactly.
it is.
And then like my aunties never been married or whatever, so I feel like but they very strong. I feel like I lived a shelter life, of course. Kennedy doesn't she been on the school bus, but it was only probably for like a couple months.
You pulled her off?
Well, they switched schools. And then any transportation wise, like if it's not me, it's my aunts or her dad or you, like she is being sheltered as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna honestly say, like, I feel like from experience, that's not good. Only because coming up, my mom tried to do the same thing. It was kind of like, okay, you're not riding the bus, or you got to be in when the street lights come on. But then as soon as you got that second to cut loose, it was like
you did everything you could
do. Right. So then
it just only made it worse. And I'm not blaming her for me having DJ, but it was like as soon as I cut loose, it was like, oh, well, here comes this little baby.
I'm free.
As a black community, we do not talk about finances with our kids, and we do not talk about healthy relationships with men and women. And so when that doesn't happen, right, or sex. So when that doesn't happen,
they rely on the school.
Right. We go out and we do things, and now hold on a second. When we go out and we do things and we're not realizing that we're not protecting ourselves, but we weren't properly equipped for it. So it's like, okay, I'm having sex, but I'm not using protection because my mom didn't talk to me about it. And I'm thinking, oh, this boy, know what he's doing, and then here I come.
No, my grandmama then brought a nurse in to talk to us. He had the whole damn chart and everything.
But, that's very rare.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of, no offense or no shade, but a lot of white people set their kids up for them to do amazing in life. Like, you know, you have these trust funds and you have, you know, these people that they can lean on. A lot of them are doctors, so they're probably already teaching their kids things. And so for us, it's like we don't think about those things. It's survival, really, because of the color of our skin.
Also because of the area.
Yeah,
because
the
their school system sets them up for that.
Definitely.
Our school system set us up for the survival mode, for those types of things. I literally had a conversation. You was there. I had that conversation.
Kids don't have teachers that really care about them.
100%. But see, that's where our generation came into play at. Because you was there when I had a conversation with Mama. I said to her, it's messed up because you didn't have that conversation with us about sex. You didn't have that conversation with us properly about finances. But that goes back to her parents. Because my mother was a PK kid. So because my mother because my mama grew up as a PK kid, my grandmother was a stay-at-home grandmother. So my grandfather was the breadwinner. Mm-hmm. So because of that, they didn't have that conversation. And not only that, but she was Catholic. She grew up Catholic.
Okay.
So you don't have those conversations in the household. You don't have sex until you're married. No ifs, ands, buts about it. If you did, you were condemned, you were shunned. That's just what it was. So because of that, her parents were PKs. Not only that, but half of them grew up on plantation. So those things they were either raped, molested, all of those things. So it's literally generational curses that are brought down to generation to generation to generation. So then you end up with us who literally have to learn it literally straight from the mud, and then make sure that we don't get our kids to do it. So then you have our generation who go to school to learn to be teachers who want to teach these other kids to not end up like us, who literally scratching and scraping, living paycheck to paycheck to make sure that these next set of kids don't end up like us.
And that's not okay.
The perfect example is my best friend's son goes to Marshall, and just some of the bullshit that I've been seeing on Facebook is crazy. Like these kids stealing the teachers' fucking cars and doing donuts.
That was a teacher car.
That was a teacher's car.
They did it 3 days in a row.
Two of the 3 cars I think that's cute. Were teachers' cars at the school.
Yeah, and then
they totaled it on Sherman and Burleigh.
And one of the other times they started, when they put up the barricades to keep them out, they start shooting.
Are you serious?
Out the stolen car.
Come on,
and do you think that these people don't know who you are? You go to this damn school. But that's the generation that's coming up, and it's scary. And it honestly is. And if you're not careful in how you're pouring into your kids and the people that they're around, you're right. I was so proud of my son when he posted that my mama will never see me in a stolen car. I was so proud because I'm like, I think, what I'm doing my best. So when I know that I'm doing my best is what they're coming out and what they're saying and how they talk and how they operate when I'm not around. Mm-hmm. So to see him post that was like, it
on
made
his social media.
Yeah,
that's
it
really
was
good.
like it made me feel like the best mom ever.
They used to say it takes a village to raise a child.
It does.
Now, if somebody says something to your child or whatever,
then everybody want to fight.
So defensive, right?
Right.
So it's like, I see. It's like a no. I see, but I don't see it type stuff.
You turn a blind eye.
Yes,
and that's the problem.
But I think it starts at home with these kids. It starts at home, and again, what they're saying, what you're pouring into them, and then who they're around. And I know at some point I'm gonna get some bad shit from my kids. I know it's coming. Cause I gave my mama a run for her money, okay? But at the same time, I think that they're pretty smart kids. So when it come, I'm gonna be ready. But they better be ready for the outcome.
See, I was sneaky bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to expect from Kennedy.
Yeah. I was too scared to do anything. Like, I was a PK. I was too scared. Like,
really?
I was too scared.
Think it was because of the fire.
I thought God was always watching me. I thought He was shunning me as soon as I do something. I thought I was going down.
Yeah.
And so as soon as my dad, look, let me tell you, my dad said to me, he was like, if I ever die, I'm gonna come back.
I heard that before.
I was like,
how you do that?
But see, look,
but you know, it happens.
Like my pops,
it really happens.
Here's the thing: my pops died when I was 12. I'm 34, bro. And I'm still deathly afraid that this man is gonna come back and get
my
me.
Daddy did hunt me
because it's possible.
It is. My daddy hunted me when I was bad. So, especially when we moved to Ohio, I'm not even joking. You can ask my Auntie Pam. I was doing something, I don't know, but I was giving her the hardest time. I don't know if it was because I was, I'm a teenager or what, but I was giving her the hardest time. My ass went to sleep. I woke up and my daddy was standing right there.
No.
He was there. Like,
I went back to sleep.
No. He was there. I'm like, in a trench coat. And I told my auntie, she's like, he always wore a trench coat. I'm like, well, he was standing at the foot of my bed in a trench coat. I'm like, and he didn't even say nothing. I snapped back right. I was not playing. I'm like, okay, I don't want to see him like that.
That's serious.
Yeah, I like want a motorcycle so bad, and my dad used to say, if y'all ever, and we was little. My dad died when I was 10. So he was like, if I ever see you on a motorcycle, I'm gonna knock you off.
Dang.
I'm so serious.
And
just
we
like
were
that.
little. We didn't have
She's not lying.
She said, I'm gonna knock you off.
But why?
So he said that he didn't want a female to be on a
On a
motorcycle.
motorcycle.
Unless you want to back up it, right?
No,
he
not
at
either.
all.
Because it is kind of like dangerous.
Not even
I don't
the
even
dangerous
think it's
part.
that. I think it's just the vision of his daughters
being on a motorcycle.
Oh.
He does not.
Because if you think about it, it looks sexually. Your
exactly
ass
what
is
it is.
tooted in the
Right.
air.
Okay,
and
that's what
like,
yeah. Okay.
And you think about it,
It's
some
the
of these
images
women
that's
got
given
like
off.
these
And
little
that's
ass
what it
shorts on just to get on the motorcycle.
Purposely,
I'm
just
definitely
He
to.
getting
saw
one.
that.
The crazy thing
He
is,
saw
you gonna
that.
start a motorcycle crew.
I'm
And
definitely getting one. I'm
You
gonna
still
bubble
can?
wrap the shit out of myself. Y'all see me
Just get on the
Right.
spider. What are they
Mind
called?
your
Four
fucking
What the
wheelers.
three
Yeah.
wheels?
I'm definitely getting
Oh, that's
one.
a three. Yeah.
So if y'all see me bubble wrap flying down
Just
Sherman,
like
Not
she said,
bubble
get a
wrap.
spider.
mind your business.
Get a spider.
No.
If we gonna get a motorcycle, we gonna get the full
No.
throttle motorcycle.
Did he get a moped?
I think that it was just an
Only time I get a motorcycle.
I don't think my dad expected me to have this many tattoos either. So it was
No,
like,
Daddy knew the tattoos. Mama was the one about the tattoos.
nah.
No, because I always said to Daddy I wanted tattoos, and he always said make sure they mean something and they just not for show.
So let's touch
That's
on
what I
this
was told.
comment real quick. I think this is really dope. Chris said, our village and school systems are set us up for failure. Now we have people in grown bodies that are not mentally grown. And this hurts our growth as a whole. And it does. Because you have like... we ran into a situation, and I'm not going to fully go into it, but my son got into a situation with somebody, and he told me, Ma, I need you to come right now. And when I hear that, everything stops. Like, the world stops. So I'm outside with this sports bra on and fucking pajama pants, and the people that know me know I don't do the bonnets outside. I don't do pajamas. No, I don't do.
But when your baby
And
called,
you had a bonnet on.
When my son called, I got one shoe on, and this was before my leg was hurt. I couldn't find my other shoe, so I said, fuck that shoe.
Yeah.
So my oldest son had on jogging pants, no shoes, and no shirt. And she outside, no bra, with some pants, some biker shorts on. I don't even think she had on shoes.
I had no shoes, no
And
pants.
whoever was on
I ain't
76
got no
and
shoes
that,
or
I'm
nothing.
sorry, I definitely ran that light, because fuck y'all, I'm getting to my So I get there, and because we can't be civilized, and because these kids are so out of control, here I am with a 16-year-old letting him know I will lay your ass out because of my child.
Yeah.
I don't care if you disabled.
and look at
I don't
how
care
you
if
had to
grown.
come. We
Right.
pulled up at my cousin's house
These kids,
It's-
wow.
it's-
over some
crazy.
kid mess.
Adults get into situations because of these kids, and if you don't check your kids, this is why we're seeing a lot of the youth dying
Mm-hmm.
and not, prospering, because we don't have no control over it. And I'm not gonna say we, because as soon as I told my son to shut up, it's let my mom have the floor. She told me to shut up, but this lady had no control over her son.
It's kids
at
raising
all.
kids nowadays too.
Right. So it's scary to see the future if we don't get a grasp on this whole stolen car epidemic and all of these things. But to kind of get back to the topic, why do you think it's so hard to leave after you're in, that toxic relationship? Do you think it's like because you fell in love with the potential? Do you think it's because you fell in love with the sex? Because sometimes how you're starting a relationship off with sex sets the tone too.
Definitely.
So why, Ebony, do you think like it's so hard to leave them alone?
I don't have that problem. I mean,
bullshit.
Walking away.
No, I'm not talking about like right now.
Oh,
I mean,
just in general. Like, why do you think it's like so hard to like even get to the terms of like I don't deserve this? Like, why is it so hard to grasp that?
Right. Like,
I think it is the potential.
The situation with, you know, what you were saying with you and Tanisha, like that situation. Why did you think it was so hard after the first time he hit you? Like, why was it so hard for you to leave?
I mean, that would be hard to elaborate on because that would give like the identity of this person. But feelings can be evolved. It could also be, like you said, the potential. Like, I seen more than
what he saw.
Yeah, and then I like look at like years later, and he done changed a little bit, and maybe that was what I saw, but he wasn't ready to display that with me.
Right.
But I mean, when I walked away, it took a while to walk away. Yes. Because my feelings were involved, and I was thinking like maybe he'll change for me. Like, I'm worth it. Like, he'll change for me if he really
you're worth, and you want him to see it as well. Like,
I'm like, I'm doing everything right, so maybe this person to change. But if they're not ready to change, they're not going to change.
They're not going to.
Right. I think for me, I feel like with anybody, I love hard. And that goes for my friends, that goes for my family, and that goes for whatever mate that I'm with. And because I don't sometimes know how to let go, and I'm always trying to push to make you better, and I want it more than you do at times. And that's a toxic trait of mine that I have to let go, because if you don't see your own potential, why am I?
You can't make them ready.
Right. You cannot make a man ready. And it hurts you too. Because
you
like,
see it.
Right, you see it, and it's like, why don't you see what I see? But it also sometimes is, if you start off a relationship with sex, and this is the tone, and you said that you're falling in love, you're lusting. It's not even love. Yeah. You're lusting over this person. I was in an abusive relationship, and I felt like, again, Ebony, what you said, I'm fighting back. We outside. I got my shorts on, my shoes on. We fighting outside like two dudes. Because I was like, I'm tired of you putting your hands on me. So I started to fight back, but I didn't leave because I felt like I wanted this picket fence. You know what I'm saying? And I thought at the time, with my self-esteem being so low, now I'm like, oh, nobody else will want me because now I got kids and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we got to let that go as women. And you got to value yourself more, because if you don't value yourself, he know that. He know your self-esteem is low. He know what he can play on, all of that. So you got to make sure that you continue to build yourself up, because these men will definitely tear you down.
Facts.
Yeah. So it's hard, though, because I think dating right now is dangerous. It is. Because your feelings get involved, and then you lose control. And some women just do not have control over their emotions, and I'm definitely one of them. Like, if you pull the right fuse, it ain't no ticking time bomb. It's about to blow up.
I don't think any woman has any control over her emotions.
I don't either. Like, you can say you do, you can hide it as much as you do, but your friends, you know, your deepest,
true
darkest
friends.
Terry Hilton said every woman has a breaking point.
They do. They do.
Some can just put it off a little bit longer than most. Some can walk away, and what ends up happening is they tear up your shit. Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
And you got some that's gonna blow up your spot.
Thin line between love and hate.
Remember
that? Man,
but
Lynn
then it's
Whitfield
also
snap.
on you, because it's a reaction to your action. Like, and I'm not saying it's okay. Please don't get me wrong. But you out here with these women, and you know, we supposed to be exclusive and all this other stuff. And now I'm finding out, here go Hoosey Toosey over here, and then it's like, what? How do you expect somebody to react to that?
Because it's embarrassing. Like,
it is. That's why I said, don't post me, embarrass me in private.
Right.
You gotta post me.
But see, the thing is, that's why I asked on the first podcast, do men think Do they really genuinely think that they can take what they can dish out?
No,
95%
they
of
can't.
men, they're honest about it. No, they can't.
know they can't.
But the thing is, what they don't know is, women are 100% slicker at cheating than they are.
Yeah.
That's because they dumbass want to keep keepsakes in their phone. Like, I want to keep this bitch boobs in my phone, or I want to keep this.
It's called the vault.
But even it's not even that. It can be something simple like them just acting different, or you can see their face, or their whole demeanor. Like it just changes.
It's the mannerism because see, the thing is, we have to be all the time. We have to be ready for everything that comes our way. We can't change our demeanor. We can't change our mood. We can't change nothing. We are 100% ready for everything at all times. We cannot do anything different than what we are set out to do. Men don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
They move literally. We can come in the room and be like, bitch ass nigga, they whole move gonna change immediately.
Well, who the fuck wouldn't? Because if you come.
But listen to what I'm saying.
Because it's fighting words.
Like, whoa there.
One boot on, one shoe out. I don't give a fuck. We gonna fight.
But see, if you're in a professional setting and you literally, somebody come and piss you off at work, what you gotta do?
Yeah, suck it up.
You gotta remain calm at all times, right?
Suck it up.
A man can't do that. He gets somebody come in your job, and a man literally somebody come in there and say, "Fuck ass nigga, woo woo woo." What he gonna do? He gonna remove himself. But a woman gonna remain calm, and she gonna sit there with a straight face. I apologize, ma'am. I'm sorry. You were still late, and I apologize. I still cannot help you at this time. We can reschedule. We can do this. A man gonna get up and go get a woman to handle that rudely ass patient or that rudely ass person. A man can't do it. They ain't built for that shit.
I think though, for a lot of times, guys want to show their
strength.
Yeah, their strength, and also they want to show their dominance. And it's a thin line between professional and you just need your ass whooped.
Yeah.
Because the job I do is dangerous by itself. And so at night it's like I'm always on my P's and Q's. I work third shift. So this one situation. So we fuck it, I don't care. We gave this lady a ticket, and so at night we're supposed to be partnered up. So we gave this lady. It was right before night parking was over, and it's like I would say 5:57. So my partner's device stopped working, so we had to go back. She had already printed the ticket; it was already in the system. It just wasn't physically on this woman's car. So we had to go back to the station, fix her device, whatever. So we go back on this block. Now, night parking is over. It's after 6. So we go back and the lady is outside. She's sitting on her porch. She got 2 dogs. These motherfuckers is big. And they not on a leash. None of that. So my partner is putting the tickets on the car. And so I'm up further because I'm hitting, another car at this point. So I hear like, first of all, we ain't even supposed to be on the phone, but I don't give a shit. I was on the phone, and I got one of my AirPods in, and I'm like, hold on, because I'm talking to the person that I'm on the phone, and I'm like, I hear something, so I get my work phone, and I call her. I'm like, you okay back there? So they arguing back and forth. Well, not really arguing. The lady is just throwing insults. So I'm like, you know what? I told my partner, I'm like, come on, let's just get off this block. I saw another car up here I needed to handle or whatever. So we go up the block. Now, at this point, I'm out of my car because, of course, y'all bogus motherfuckers don't never have no plates on y'all car. So now I got to get the VIN number. So I'm out of the car, and I hear, like, vroom. This lady that followed us up the street.
No, she didn't.
She did. She followed us up the street. So I said, my partner, like, Shantae, get back in the car. I said, I sure the fuck ain't.
Running from who?
I'm not. I'm going to finish what I'm doing, and I'm going to take these pictures, and I'm going to get back in my Jeep. So she gets out aggressively and, like, walking towards me. So my best friend, I'm still on the phone with her, and she pulled up my location. She like, you on 26 and fucking Clybourne. She was like, I got one shoe on. She was like, that lady sounds too close. I'm like, I'm good. She like, I'm on my way. So anyway, the lady coming, she's showing me the ticket. That's why she was so close to me, but she's showing me the ticket, and she put this on my car, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, it's fine. She, stating her case, whatever. She goes up to my partner's Jeep, is pulling on the door. She trying to get in her Jeep. She was like, I'm about to beat your ass. Get out so we can fight. You want to fight somebody over a $20 ticket? And I'm literally looking at her like this, saying that. I'm like, you going to fight somebody? You're going to go to jail over a $20 ticket. She's like, I don't care about this.
Clearly.
So for me, it's just like, the whole point of telling this story is, if these adults don't have any self-control, how do we expect
the kids to? Because especially if the kids was watching, they see how their mother is reacting to a ticket.
So then that buckles down to your relationship, and it's this toxic shit that we're talking about. If you don't have any self-control over yourself for a $20 ticket, how do we expect you to have self-control over your relationship, your emotions, your kids, all of that? So we're developing these kids to only the future be exactly how we are toxic. So we got to do better as a society. It's crazy, but I know one thing. I finished what the hell I was doing.
I know that's right.
So if it was at that point that I had to take off that city shirt and whoop your ass, that's what I was gonna do. So I'm
like, let me clock out real quick so I can whoop your ass.
Clocking out, that was too far.
Get paid on the clock. Whoop it on the clock.
But I think just if the governor is watching, we need better safety measures for us, and I definitely need to.
Yeah, that sounds scary. What if them dogs got you? That's what I was thinking about the whole time.
The car on the corner, I was supposed to fight, but guess who ain't get out? Me.
It was their lucky day.
Listen, I said, y'all gotta go to ticket today because it ain't gonna get on y'all car. Y'all won. Like, I'm not getting out. These big ass dogs is wrong.
Never. That's
and
not
I got a big dog. Like, our dog is like 80, 90 pounds. So, but that ain't. But that's
your dog, right? Yeah, it's a difference. It's a difference. Like,
definitely,
you can't control everybody, dog.
But I definitely appreciate y'all coming. We had a good time. Going forward, I'm not sure if we're going to continue having guests. Only because I take my business and my name very. That's my top thing. We always talk about Black businesses and how they're unprofessional, and I want to operate as such. Yeah. I want to start on time. If you say you're coming, come. So going forward, I definitely want to revisit this to see, how we're going to do it. But our next topic is about the kids. September, I got to get with Tone about the dates, but the next show, we're going to bring the kids on and let them talk. And I feel like we touched on it a little bit because we want to see where their head is at. Like, what can we do as parents to help our kids? Even if you're not a parent, like my sister, is one of my co-parents. She's there side by side with me daily. My mom is too. So we need to hear from them. We need to see what's going on with them and kind of pick their brains and see how we could better parent this generation. Because it's sad. It's sad, and we want to stop the toxic behavior. And I know that the question was posed today as far as men, but it's women too. And we got to hold ourselves accountable more, and what we can do better and what we won't accept. So the next show, I'm not sure the date. I'll keep you guys posted. But we do want y'all to chime in y'all opinions. Chris, I didn't get to touch on all your comments, but they were on point, okay? And I just want to go back. She said one more thing that I wanted to highlight. I think that was Chris. Yeah, it was this one. She said the pouring into someone takes a lot out of you. And it does. Like, you trying to build yourself up and go about every day, and you trying to pour into this other person, and they not accepting it at all.
Yeah.
And then, and you never get anything in return, even if you aren't looking to receive anything. It's just nice to have someone think about you sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I think those gestures from a man or a woman at this point, we're just going to say both. Those gestures go a long way. So it's like if you checking on your man or your woman throughout the day, hey, how's your day going? And don't ask what you're doing. You clearly know if I'm working throughout the day. At that point. But anyway, but just what you doing? How you doing? Do you need anything? Stop making it always about you. So that was great, Chris. I think a lot of your comments, I'm going to definitely go back and we could comment on those too so that we can highlight that. Anything for you ladies coming up? Any business ventures? Any shout out to Tanisha. She's starting her t-shirt line and well no, you're not starting the t-shirt line, you're doing the t-shirt. So we'll soon be having t-shirts. We outside because y'all we gotta definitely represent.
Creating them and
okay. So she's on that, so we gotta definitely support her.
I might as well go ahead and shout out the name then.
No,
you want me to do it?
No, because I'm interested. I'm interested already.
And we gonna talk about with that. Okay. You got anything coming up?
Yeah, I'm starting my own podcast pretty soon.
Hey.
I'm just in the works of figuring out if I want to have guests or not, or if I want to do it myself. I know starting off is going to be hard to do it by myself, so that's why I'm like in the, more so just getting a feel on how I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I can be kind of like organized with it, because I don't want to start something and not finish it.
I feel you. That's professionalism.
Yeah.
So is there anything specific that you're going to be concentrating on, or?
That's the main thing I want to figure out, like, because it's more so like different topics, like what I find interesting, like even if it's that week or something, I just want to keep up with what's going on and continue talking about it. Really? Hey, who's that? Hey.
Oh my God! I wish y'all could see
she
her.
Snapped. She came off the cut.
My sister Raven, her ass was
you
late.
You can't see her in the background.
She wild.
She was late as hell. Ebony, anything coming up? Anything we can support you on? Shout you out?
No. I'm always the last minute person. So
yeah, we need to switch that.
I can't help it. I mean, I can, but I can't.
We gonna need to get you a calendar or some.
She
has one. Don't use it.
She uses it sometimes. This girl is a fucking.
She don't know we can see her.
Oh, wait, let me get out the. Can y'all see it?
Mm-hmm. Look at her.
Oh my God. Listen, when we call, they coming, okay? Because we be definitely outside, all right? Mm-hmm. I do have a couple things coming up. I don't want to talk about it until it's fully manifested. I don't want to really say, but if you do have any business ventures, if you do have any events, anything that you need us to support, we share a lot of things on our page for parents in need, anybody really in need. Any school drives, anything that you can think of that you need somebody to support, I'll definitely do that as long as it's positive. And that's really all. Shout out to my cousin Loren. I know he's probably working. He has a moving business that he's been really, really successful on. So if you have any upcoming moves that you need him on, please contact him. We'll tag him in the post.
Oh, you travel?
Yep.
Yeah.
He goes
this
in and out of state.
He been out of state. Like he'll be gone for 2-3 days, come back for a day, and gone another 2-3 days. Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
Let me see. I gotta think. Oh, Esco on the cuts. Brittany. Brittany on the moving. I'm sorry, the cleaning. She's been super dope. Some of the stuff that she's been doing, I'm so proud of her. Her business that she's doing. That's another Black-owned business. Mike Taylor, he does a lot of giveaways as far as food and things like that. My mind is like blank. I don't know. We'll get our list together. But again, if you have anything that we could support you on, we're definitely pushing black businesses for perfection. Like we need to take over.
Definitely.
So we love y'all. We about to go because we about to get outside. Yes, with this one boot on, I'm about to be outside.
Straight thugging it.
Right, and I would drag this leg and mind y'all damn business. But we love y'all so much. We'll see y'all soon.